Today is a rare day this time of year in Bukittingi. As you can see, blue sky off in this direction, and miracle of miracles, blue sky off in this direction as well, towards Mount Singalang, and blue sky up above me. Does not get nicer than this. So I'm just putting my bike together and I'm gonna head on a little bike ride. I'm just leaving from the Mandiri guest house. It's right behind me. And it's just a few kilometers outside of Bukittingi itself. And when I said I'm going on a bike ride, I have a destination in mind. My goal is to go to the Sianok Canyon. When I went to visit the Japanese tunnel here in Bukittingi, there was a viewpoint panorama park that overlooked this canyon. And I noticed that there was a road going down into the canyon, and I've been looking at Google Maps a little bit, trying to figure out, what this canyon is all about. What's inside the canyon? Can you go into the canyon? All these different things. And I don't know if I'm oh boy, got a bit of a, this is the usual market traffic jam here. I probably should have tried to find another way to go to where I'm going. But yeah, there's always a big traffic jam here, right at the market here. Or they could be doing road work, who knows. Anyway, it's gonna take a few minutes to get past all this. But anyway, I was just saying, I don't know if I'm a special sort of dummy, but I do find when it comes to tourist attractions, I often, from a distance, I can't tell what they're all about. So, for example, I read that this canyon is a place where tourists can go, but then I start to look for, information about, okay, how do you go into the canyon? How do you get out of the canyon? Is there a way to go into it? Like, what do you do when you get there? And I'm looking online and I have no idea. And I discovered a place that they call the Great Wall of Bukittingi. So apparently there was a bridge and a trail that took people from the villages inside the canyon, and on the other side of the canyon there was a trail that went into the canyon, across a bridge, and then up the hill into Bukittingi. And people don't generally use that trail in that way anymore, but it was eventually turned into a kind of tourist attraction, and it wasn't all that popular. But then somebody local had a marketing idea, which really was kind of brilliant, where he said, well, let's take part of the trail and build a wall on both sides of it and crenellate the top to make it look like the Great Wall of China. So now they changed the name, to the Great Wall of Bukittingi, and suddenly it became a huge attraction because the name was so kind of fascinating, the Great Wall of Bukittingi. So I had this idea that I wanted to visit the Great Wall of Bukittingi, but I don't know, I was probably online for a couple of hours yesterday, looking at all kinds of websites, every tourism website I could find, and Google Maps, and I still have not found the entrance or the exit to the Great Wall of Bukittingi. So I know it's there, and I know it's a trail, and it leads to a bridge, and you cross the bridge, and there's some kind of a lookout point, but I have no idea where it is. I don't know how you start the hike on the Great Wall of Bukittingi trail. I don't know where it is. I just can't find it. So, as I often end up doing, this little trip to the canyon is more like a reconnaissance mission, because I don't know where I'm going to end up. I have to go there and then kind of take a look at the place and figure things out. Yeah, major traffic jam. There's an interesting building. Looks like sort of an entrance into this market. That's an old gateway building. I've seen a bunch of those out in the countryside, the village areas. I'll have to check that out on my way back. It even has a plaque on it with a date. Still trying to get through the market. Funny thing is, the blue van behind me, it just kept honking his horn over and over and over again. He would come up behind me and hit his horn, and I let it go, I don't know, about a dozen times. But I finally decided to give him the evil eye. So he crept up right behind me and hit the horn. So I turned around and gave him the evil eye, and then he just sort of pointed at me and sort of indicated, go, 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 go forward. And I never understand drivers like that, because there's nowhere to go. You know, like honking at a traffic jam never makes any sense to me. It's not like somebody is just, it's not like I'm sitting here, you know, not moving and there's somewhere to go. I'm not moving because the car in front of me stopped moving. But anyway, I gave him the evil eye twice, maybe 3 times, and now he stopped honking at least. As you can see, we're right in the heart of the market. I've never gone into this market. I've only ridden past it many times. Yeah, I think it must be an actual market day. It's not this busy every day. I think Tuesday is one of the market days. Made it out the other side. I never mind going slowly through those areas though. There's always so many interesting things to look at. I often have this idea about sort of tourism and experiences overseas and YouTube videos, because this morning I was watching a YouTube video about Bukittingi, and it was a little bit more of a professional video, like not a vlogger per se. It was a woman who was hired obviously to be the host of the show, and she had a film crew with her. And the whole idea was to go around Bukittingi and visit all the famous places. And the funny thing is, like when you watch one of those videos, of course, they skip all of this. The video opens with her, actually the video opened with her down in the canyon with all the beautiful scenery around her for sort of a, you know, welcome to Bukittingi opening. And then she would just jump from place to place to place. You know, she'd go to this part of the canyon, then she would go to a market, then to a restaurant, then to the Japanese tunnel, then to the clock tower. But of course, when in a show like that, you don't actually show what's involved in getting to these places. The actual experience of going to the canyon is very different from a video like that where she just starts the video when she's already there, you know. I've arrived in the heart of Bukittingi. Right ahead of me is the park with the famous clock tower, and the road to the left heads past the Japanese tunnel. And I only mention that because when I was trying to find the entrance to the Great Wall of Bukittingi, all the yeah, I guess I go this way. The tourism articles, they all said you can find it near the Japanese tunnel. That's all they said. But I was in the Panorama Park where the Japanese tunnel is located. I never saw anything about this trail, the Great Wall of Bukittingi. And I scoured Google Maps and I looked for as much information as I could. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to go in this direction to take me past the Japanese tunnel. And I just want to keep my eyes open for any entrances to a trail, any signs pointing the way. We'll see. But my goal, my original goal, is to go to a lookout point first. You know, maybe if I see the Great Wall of Bukittingi, the trail, maybe I'll stop and do it first. But that wasn't my plan. I want to go down into the canyon, and there's a road, and then you can circle around, and I guess you climb back up, and then there's a lookout point of some kind. That I could find on the map, and I know where that is. So I'm going to go there, try to go there first, and maybe get a sense of how this canyon is put together. My little reconnaissance mission. Yeah, so here's the Panorama Park, and the Japanese tunnel is in there. As I said, I was in there before, and I went from one end of the park to the other, and there was certainly no mention of a trail. Certainly no trail called the Great Wall of Bukittingi. Man, beautiful though. I've got a view of the canyon off to my left. It's quite something. A rare bit of luck for me. I'm trying to find a certain road that snakes down into the canyon, and I stopped at this intersection just to check Google Maps, and lo and behold, this is the road that I want. Usually I ride like a kilometer past it before I realize where it is, and I have to turn around and come back. Yeah, very steep road. Let's see. One thing I've noticed about Bukittingi, and I remember hearing about this, there's supposed to be like a market for secondhand clothing, and I don't know, I haven't seen, you know, an official market or anything like that, but I see all kinds of stores everywhere selling secondhand clothes. So this is the entrance gateway into the canyon. Geopark Narai Sianok something. I can't see the rest of it. Manao. Okay. Manao. Bukittingi. But I was thinking about why there might be used clothing markets here, and I haven't really seen them anywhere else. And I was thinking it might be because it's quite a bit cooler up here. So there's a market for thicker clothing like jeans and jackets and sweatshirts and sweaters that kind of get imported from overseas, from secondhand sources. Hello. Hello. there wouldn't be a demand for any of those, you know. In most of Sumatra, it's just too hot for that kind of clothing, but they could sell it up here. Hello. Ah, okay, this is steep. I'm riding my brakes. I remember seeing this road from the tower near the Japanese tunnel. I should be able to see the tower at some point, but I haven't seen it yet. Okay, here's something. What is this? Oh, it's an entrance to the Japanese tunnel. I saw this tunnel, this exit, you know, when I was down inside the tunnel system, but the gate was closed. I think I never saw it open like this. Huh. So I guess you can go into the tunnel system over here as well. That's interesting. Hello. No, I went inside before.
All right.
But I went in the other entrance.
Entrance up there.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Canada.
Canada, Vancouver.
No, Toronto.
Toronto.
So.
Nice place.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was another entrance.
Yeah, another entrance up there.
Yeah, up there.
Yeah, up there.
And down here.
What do you do? You make YouTube or not?
Yeah, YouTube videos.
What kind of YouTube? I can see you later.
So you can buy a ticket here to go in if you wanted to?
Possible.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Well, I guess I should go. It's kind of dangerous right here
I think
with
you
the
like
car.
walking. It's nice walk in the canyon. First, let's round. First, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour is good to walk. You know, it's
Yeah.
to go. Not bicycle.
Yeah, I'm probably going to ride my bike around today. Maybe tomorrow I will go walking. I don't know.
Tomorrow is nice walking here and then see the waterfall, and see the village culture, and then in the jungle it's nice. There are many things to see. Then tomorrow is nice. Take walk first few hours here in the bottom of the canyon. Go to that village, right through first jungle. It's nice.
Yeah.
If you like, come with me. I'm always right here.
You're always there.
Round first tourist here.
All right. So, anyway, I'll see you later. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You too.
Good.
So that was interesting. The entrance to the Japanese tunnel there. It's also a ticket window, so you can buy a ticket to go inside there. And of course, those two men I was speaking with, they make money as guides for this whole area. But of course, since I'm on a bicycle, they can't really guide me around. So we just chatted for a little while. And I stopped here because the Japanese tower, the tower at the Japanese tunnel is up there. So that's where I was before. Huh. So. And that man was saying that there's not a lot you can do in the canyon on a bicycle. It's more hiking trails. And I kind of know that, but I just wanted to come down here by bike and sort of get the lay of the land. See what's here. Ah. Great Wall. I found a sign. Great Wall, Tembok. I don't know what Tembok is. I wonder if that means entrance. Oh, and there is a trail right here. So this is probably the beginning of it. But I don't know if I can safely lock up my bicycle here or not. Ah, okay. So the sign says Great Wall in English, and then Tembok China, which means China Wall. Parking, Roda Dua. Ah, two-wheel parking. So this is a parking area for scooters and motorcycles. Well, I just made a note of that place, and I think I'm just going to continue on bike and go around to the lookout point. That was my original plan. Well, I found a small driveway that led to a parking lot, and I'm down at the river, which is the heart of this canyon, of course. And there's a bunch of tourism signs there saying that Monkey Land is off in this direction, and Koto Gadang. I don't really know what Monkey Land is, but there's a cement path alongside the river, so might as well roll my bike along it for as far as I can go. It's such a big trail. To be honest, I don't know why I thought I had to walk my bike. I can easily ride my bike here. So there's a large parking area here, and maybe on the weekend these restaurants would be open. And there's a bridge, a suspension bridge up ahead. And I think that is the bridge that's part of the Great Wall of China. So I think the trail leads down there. I had no idea there was such a wide, paved, like a cement trail like this. It's very nice. But I don't think I'll be able to go that far along the river. It's going to turn into something that a bike can't handle pretty soon, I imagine. But hey, let's see how far we can go. Certainly nice to be down here. So there's the suspension bridge. And I'm gonna check Google Maps just to confirm where I am. I think I know where I am, but let's make sure. Yeah, I think so. This is the Great Wall of China trail. But I don't see, so far I don't have any view of the trail itself with the crenellated walls. Man, look at this. Who knew I could go this far so easily? Makes me wonder if there's a way to get across the river down at ground level. I mean, you could easily walk across, of course, it's not a deep river. But just in terms of a road, you know, for scooters or... Yeah, there are some resorts and guest houses down here. Angku Ajam Resort. And I'm guessing that's what this road is for, to allow people to drive to this resort. And then I think the trail will stop here. There's a little bit of a trail that continues alongside the river. You could probably continue hiking in that direction. Maybe. It looks like it got pretty rough. But yeah, it's kind of nice that you can go this far along the river on a bike. It's kind of cool. So I've just turned around and I'm going to go back to the road and continue around, like I said, to that lookout point. Funny thing is, where this road ends, right at that resort, is right across the river from that lookout point area. So it would be handy just to cross right there, but can't do it. Of course, you got that cliff on the other side anyway. So, wow, that looks nice. And there's the suspension bridge. And somebody walking across the bridge, being followed by a cat. There you go. And I was thinking about tourism in general and backpacking and how the internet has kind of, the internet and Google Maps has kind of wiped out the market for the old style guidebooks, the Lonely Planet guidebooks that were so common before. I mean, the Lonely Planet guidebooks were practically synonymous with backpacking throughout Asia. And yet I was thinking of, say, my difficulties in getting information about this trail, the Great Wall of China trail. I couldn't find the entrance online. And yet, if I had a Sumatra guidebook from Lonely Planet, I'll bet it would specify exactly where you go to start the trail, and where it ends. That's kind of a thing that those guidebooks would do. But perhaps that is because of the market, that they're aimed at. The guidebooks are for backpackers who tend to do things on their own. But I think a lot of people who would come to Bukittingi, especially local tourists, would be using a local guide of some kind, a group, and they wouldn't need to know where the beginning of the trail is. They just need to know that the trail exists, and their tour company would bring them right there. So I'm back on the road, just crossed the bridge. I'm on the other side of the river now, and the lookout point is about 4 kilometers from here. It's probably going to be a steady climb to get up there, heading along the river in this direction, sort of like climbing up the edge of the canyon, and then the road turns around and doubles back. And then I assume it just, keeps on climbing until you get to the lookout point. Still cycling along the valley floor. It's gorgeous. Right in the heart of the canyon. It's a beautiful area. Wow. Gorgeous view off in that direction. And I think that peak right there is sort of a centerpiece for much of the tourism photos that you see of this canyon. I think the viewpoint that I'm heading towards looks down on top of that peak. So I better check Google Maps, see where I am. Oh. So just up ahead here, the road splits. The main road goes off to the right, and this road is the one that heads to the viewpoint, and here's a sign for it: Puncak Taruko, about 2 kilometers this direction. Kapotam Cafe and Infinity Pool, a kilometer ahead. It's a good day to be on Planet Doug, that is for sure. Couldn't get nicer weather for a little excursion like this. It's just beautiful here. And I think there are a number of quite famous restaurants. And I think this is one of them right here, one of the most famous, in fact. I was expecting it to be closed, but it seems to be sort of open, or maybe not. No, it doesn't look to be open. All the chairs are sitting on top of the tables. Hello. Hello. There's another one, the Taruko Cafe and Restaurant. But I think the road to the lookout point goes off in this direction. Well, this lookout point is going to be something of a mystery. I honestly thought it was quite high up, looking down into the canyon, but so far I'm staying at ground level, like right at the edge of the river. So unless there's a sudden cable car trip to get back up to the top of the canyon, I'm not sure how this viewpoint gives you views. Well, it'll be interesting to find out. I'm just passing by that place that says it has the infinity pool, and it's an entire restaurant shaped like a ship. So we're starting to climb, and I suppose it could be a kilometer of climbing to get up there, so maybe that's what's going on. Well, I think I see it. It is a lot higher than I expected. It's way up there. So it looks like I have to settle in for a little bit of climbing. More than I anticipated. Because it really did seem like we were staying right at river level, but if that's the lookout point up there, yeah, we're not there yet. Yeah, from this point of view, I have no idea how the road could even get up there. It's just way too close. And the cliff from here is way too sheer. I don't see any kind of a road getting up there. Well, guess we'll find out soon what's going on. Well, in a rare instance, I hopped off the bike and I'm pushing it uphill. Just to be honest, it doesn't make much difference. Even riding the bike. I mean, this is steep. I mean, it is so steep. Full out pedaling, I'm doing like 4 kilometers an hour, and it's quite awkward. And I'm kind of walking at 3 kilometers an hour, so it's no faster or slower walking or cycling, and it's way too steep for cycling. I feel like I was going to break the chain on the bike. I had to put so much pressure on the pedals. So I'm gonna walk for a while. Yeah. If you're staying in Bukittingi as a tourist or backpacker and you wanted to come to this place, you you can't rent a local bicycle to get up here. There's no way. Even if you were physically able to do it, any bike you could rent wouldn't make it up this hill. So this is a hike or renting a scooter. No normal bicycle is going to make it up this hill. And I don't even have my usual gear on the bike. I just have one pannier bag and 1 bottle of water, and that's it. With a full touring load, yeah, this road is not for a cyclist. And even on these flat stretches, it's all I can do to push the bike. And when you get to one of these corners, it's like a hairpin corner. It gets much steeper around the corner. But yeah, I was saying earlier, looking at the cliff ahead, I didn't see any way a road could make it up that cliff in this short a distance, but I guess this is the only way it could do it. Extremely steep and tight. What's the word I'm looking for? Switchbacks. But the road basically is just going straight uphill. I'm actually almost already at the top though. I can see the walkway to get out to the viewpoint. I can hear and feel my heart beating inside my eardrums, inside my ear canals. Thump, 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 thump. Well, the final push. I feel like I'm going straight up a ladder. It's that steep. And I read online that there is an entrance fee of some kind up here. I don't know how much it is. And who knows, there might be nobody here today because it's a weekday. Holy doodle. I'm practically on a 45-degree angle with my body just to get up this incline. Quite often in the past, I'd be cycling somewhere and people would tell me that wherever in the direction I'm heading in, you know, you just can't do it on a bicycle. It's too difficult or too steep or something. And I always, you know, don't take them that seriously because they often don't understand what a modern bicycle can do. But here, yeah, someone said, yeah, you can't get up here on a bicycle. Take it from me, they would be telling you the truth. Well, I mean, I guess if you're on a real mountain bike and you wanted to put all of your effort into it, get up off the saddle and grind your way up to the top, I guess you could do it. But there's not much point other than proving that you could. Welcome to Puncak Taruko. I hear music and the gate is open. Parking, 2,000 if you have 2 wheels, 5,000 if you have 4. And I guess I have 2 wheels. So I'm inside the little park that they built here. There's a gateway there and then a ticket window. There's nobody at the window, but there's some guys here hanging out, and they happily took my 5,000 rupiah bill. And yeah, okay, the view is as nice as advertised, as gorgeous. And that pinnacle, the rock pinnacle that I pointed out as I came in, that is, you know, the centerpiece of this valley floor and of this view. Yeah, really nice. So there's the view. And there's a little walkway here. I want to take a look at the posts holding it up just to make sure it's, I think it'll hold my weight. Yeah, if you're afraid of heights, this might be a little bit of a challenge to walk out to the end here. Feels like you're heading towards a diving board, you know, to jump off the end. But yeah, that's a very steep cliff heading straight down into the valley. As I said, that's the road that I came up. You can just see that ribbon of pavement, and then I saw the cliff ahead of me, and I thought, there's just no way a road is going to get up to the top. Well, that's how it did it. It just basically, went straight up this cliff. Yeah, that's a gorgeous view. Well worth the effort of getting up here. So this is what that viewpoint looks like from over there, if you happen to be standing on the end of it. Oh, and there's another walkway over in that direction. I never even noticed that. Ah, okay. This probably gives largely the same view, but I'll go check it out. So this is the other viewpoint, and the entrance was actually blocked off. So I thought it was closed for construction, but then I saw these local women just sort of go around the blocked entrance and come out here anyway. So I just I'm following their lead. But it does look like they're busy working on this, painting it and staining the bamboo. So that's probably why it was blocked off, but hey. I saw these girls just scoot around the blocked entrance, so just did the same thing. Yeah, and I think you get largely the same view from over here. That's really something. There's even a little village nestled down by the river over there. I see a bridge going across the river right at that point. And there is another walkway over here, a little bit older than the other ones, heading out to the flag of Indonesia. I wonder how steady it is. Not very. Yeah, the surface of it, you can see all the bamboo slats are kind of rotting through. But yeah, you can see the canyon continues for quite a ways in that direction. And then can't really see where it goes, but it heads off in that direction as well. So I'm heading down the hill from this lookout point. You have to have good brakes. My brakes actually could use with a bit of an adjustment, to be honest. But at least it's not too far downhill, like half a kilometer, 3/4 of a kilometer at most. So. Yeah, even going downhill, I almost want to walk the bike. But yeah, and the road is quite rough. I didn't notice that when I was going up, just how rough it was, because I was walking. Yeah, you couldn't go down here at any speed. So I was trying to decide earlier if I wanted to return the same way that I came out here, along the same road. But I think it will be more interesting to complete the loop. There's a small road up ahead that I can follow. And it takes me through the canyon, along the river, and pretty much back in the direction of my hotel. So it'll be a more pleasing way to do this little trip, I think. So I think this might be my road here. Ooh. Hello. And I suppose it shouldn't come as a big surprise, but even that small road through the canyon feels busy. There's a lot of traffic on it, even on a Tuesday. I think today's a Tuesday, middle of the week, and it's busy to the point of, yeah, driving you a bit nuts after a while. Constant flow of traffic. And I imagine on the weekend it would be far, far busier with weekend day trippers. So today's probably a good day to do this ride. Yeah, at least this road is open to normal traffic. So even though I'm climbing all the way back up to the top of the cliff again, just like I did with the lookout point, it's not so steep. They cut the switchbacks at a more reasonable pace. I may have spoken too soon because it is getting steep. Funny thing is, with every pedal stroke, the front of the bike comes up off the ground, and that makes me do a wheelie. Feels like I could easily flip over backwards because the bike is too heavy at the back. And I pull on the handlebars to get leverage, and the whole bike could just flip right over. So I don't really dare keep cycling back to pushing again. Somebody's coming. That's honking the horn. Well, I've made it up out of the canyon. I'm back up on level ground again. Had to stop for quite a while in this small village back there because all of my GoPro batteries died. I seem to be missing a battery or two. But anyway, I didn't have any batteries to keep going, so I had to adjust everything. Put away all the GoPros and move my 360 camera to the front of the bike. Wow. Beautiful scenery as always. I can never get enough of this flooded rice paddies. They look so amazing. And on today's ride, I've noticed quite a few places they've already harvested rice and they have rice out. They're drying the rice in the sun. There's some on my right now. So the crops seem to be staggered to a certain extent. One crop has already ripened and been harvested, and maybe they've planted a second one already. I'm not really sure. I don't know how the rice growing season works here. Maybe it just goes all year round, but I don't think so. I think it's connected with the rainy season. What a beautiful area. Now that the sun has come out, I'm really starting to appreciate where I am. This road that I'm following cuts a little bit closer to the volcano, Singalan volcano, than all the roads in Bukittingi. Bukittingi is off to my left somewhere. I noticed this village, this is Koto Gadang. Ah, interesting. I saw this place on Google Maps. It looked like quite an interesting little village, and I think there's a lot of arts and crafts here, silver work and weaving, things like that. Yeah, Koto Gadang. Very interesting little town. As I said, I passed quite a number of handicrafts and silver workshops. It's a very good place to come, I think, if you're looking for souvenirs. Hello, how are you? There's the sign for this place, Koto Gadang. Hello. And if I were a local tour guide putting together an itinerary, this village would definitely be on my schedule. Especially this time of year with the rice planting and rice harvesting. Stunning. And a very quaint village too. With the backdrop of Mount Singgalang. It's very impressive. Another one up ahead, silver work. Interesting. I wonder why silver is popular here. I haven't heard anything about silver mining, but maybe there is silver mining here. A little silver shop. Yeah, something you learn about these regions though, when you sort of pick side roads at random, like I decided to take this side road back to my hotel rather than the main road, and you look at it on a regular flat Google Maps view, it looks very reasonable. But of course, what that doesn't take into account are the hills and the volcanoes. Hello. So this small road that I'm on basically is pointing like an arrow straight at Mount Singalang. So you're basically climbing up the entire time. But you don't see that when you're looking at a flat map. You have to call up the satellite view and terrain in order to see that. But I didn't notice. Can't argue with the view though. Gorgeous. And up ahead of me I can see, or at least a few minutes ago I could see a lot of traffic moving from left to right. So I think that's the main road, or a slightly more main road, the one that I'm heading towards. I turn left, then I turn right, and I'll be back at my hotel. But yeah, to explore this area comfortably and to see more of it, I think a motorcycle or a scooter is a better option. You know, it's interesting to be on a bicycle, but it's a lot of work. And it takes a long time to get anywhere. And then when you get to where you want to go, because you've cycled there, you don't really have a lot of energy for exploring that area. You just keep on cycling. So, scooter might be the better option, I think. Well, I've made it to the intersection. The sub-main road. It's a very interesting village here too. Hello. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon. Nice opening here on the left. Get a beautiful view, so you can sort of see that I've been climbing a little bit. You don't get a view like that without some climbing. And that, as I keep saying over and over again, that's Bukittingi down there. Well, that is it. I am back, as you can see, on the rooftop of the Mandiri Hotel. This is where my day began. Beautiful sunny morning. And it's a pretty beautiful sunny afternoon now that the day is over. Though, yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful trip into the canyon. I really enjoyed that. The scenery was much, much nicer than I expected. But I do have to say that as I often do, I turned it into a bit more of a physical endurance test than I really wanted to. That was a lot of cycling, a lot of distance that I ended up covering, and a lot of it was like uphill. So the final 7 or 8 kilometers coming around this way and then back here again, that was it was hard. And I was also doing all kinds of absent-minded things. It's kind of crazy. I had to stop at one point in this village because all the batteries on my GoPros had all died at the same time. So I had to put away all my GoPros, and I still had the 360 camera batteries were still fully charged. So then I had to move the 360 camera to the front of my bike. I'm moving all the mounts. The memory card for the 360 was full. I had to change the memory cards. And all these people came around, like some men in the village, really friendly guys, came to watch what I was doing, and they were chatting with me, you know, where are you from? How old are you? All the usual questions. And then I got everything all set up, and I got on the bike and I started riding away. And just before I went about 20 feet, I realized my bag of memory cards, like all of my SD cards, 128 gigabyte extreme, like my entire kit, all of my memory cards, empty ones, full ones, I'd left them behind on this cement wall. I'd put out all my gear there while I was changing everything, and then I put everything away. But because I was talking to all the men, I got so distracted that I left and totally forgot all my memory cards in a little like a Ziploc bag. So, but I remembered in time, and I turned around, did a circle, and my bag of cards were still there, and I managed to get them all back. Plus, when I moved my GoPros back, I shut down all my GoPros, and I had to replace them with the 360 camera. I had to use the 360 selfie stick. So I put the 360 selfie stick into place, and then I had the mounting stick that I use for my GoPros. What am I going to do with that? I didn't have my trailer with me, so I couldn't put it in my trailer. So I figured out a way to put it inside the pannier bag, and then lock and close the zippers and close the buckle and hold it in place there. So I'm cycling along, and I'm almost back at my hotel. I stopped at this little store to pick up some milk and some cold drinks. And as I get off my bike, I look at my pannier bag, and my GoPro mounting stick was gone. Because as I was going over all the bumps, the stick pushed down on the zipper on my bag, and I forgot to do up the buckle. So the zipper went all the way down to the bottom. And when I got down to the bottom, the stick, I guess, just fell out. And I never heard it fall. I never felt it fall. For like 1 second, I thought, I should go back and get it. But who knows, it could have been 10 kilometers before that point when it fell out. And I was just so tired, so hot, so sweaty. There's no way I could retrace and go all the way back looking for that stick, you know? So it's not a big deal, I guess. I can find another one, but I was kind of attached to that stick. It was just another example of me being absent-minded these days. But anyway, that was the end of my day. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. Really love that a lot. And yeah, I just wanted to come up here on the roof, take one last look at Mount Merapi over there. That looks really nice. And another look at Mount Singalong. That's over there. That also looks really nice. And here on my rooftop, not so nice, but I get some beautiful views of the area. And that's it for today. shutting down, and I'll see you in the next video.
so strong.